Hello, everybody, and happy Thursday, and welcome to the Daily Lighting Critique. We have images by Diana, Forrest, Dani, and Kat, and we've got Diana, Forrest, and Dani with us today. I've got some stuff going on in my bedroom. Well, my wife's just in my bedroom. It would have sounded creepier if I would have not said the thing. So I'm going to stop sharing my video, but I am here, and I will be doing the critique now. You guys can see my screen, correct? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. So let's start with Dani. So Dani, you have two iterations of this. There is the night. Let's start with the night one that we've been looking at for a while. So you did the moon iteration and the no moon iteration. I agree that the no moon is better. I like that we're able to maintain some of the specular hits on the window here. I do think they could be a little bit cooler. They're a little because they're a little pure white. It is a little graphic in their look over here, and it does kind of distract the eye a little bit. But having them be a little bit cooler would just indicate outdoor space without really pressing us too far over there. I like the setup overall. I just think we need to go a little darker on this light and brighter back here. I think because right now we still have that flipped focal point, which is pulling our eye closer to us, and we really want to push this light coming in here. Is an indication of extended space, but really our focus wants to be back here on the fireplace. So just toning that down a little bit and upping the fireplace light, I think is the big one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Forrest, Diana, what do you guys think?
I agree. I think it'd be cool if the moonlight from outside was blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
It's just because everything else is so saturated and nice and pretty and colorful that it kind of feels off that it's neutralized like that.
Mike, can you go to the other one with the moon?
Right. Yeah. Yes, like that.
This blue, okay.
Yeah. Color without the additional, light in the space. But I like that color a lot. For your daytime one, let's see.
Yeah. Okay. So it was very.
I like how you jumped in before I could say anything. I like that. Go ahead.
With it, but okay.
Go ahead. Because you said you had questions,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. So with the reference, the problem I have with the reference is that it's a very small space.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the light from the window that lights up the entire corner.
Mm-hmm.
And my question in my scene, since it's a lot bigger space, and I can see that there's light coming in from the window, great. I don't think there would be a reason for light to come from the hallway since it's stairs that goes up, unless it's outside open window, I don't know. But I was wondering if I can, for the background, I did just a plain fill on everything now, and if I should just do brighter highlights to create shaping. Is that a correct way to go around it?
I think you need to find a way to get more light in the room overall. Because again, if we're trying to create a contrast to the other scene, this scene which is kind of dark and moody, I want to figure out a way to get this one brighter, and it will be more about thinking about it from a camera operator perspective, which would be you would expose for the interior space and allow the exterior space outside this window to get very bright. And I agree with you on the light coming down the stairs. The only way that it makes sense is if this is in some kind of a basement and that is a door outside. So I do think that you have two options, actually three options for the direction of the light. You can have the light because this is, and the only reason I'm saying this is this window might be too small to if the light's coming in this way, it might be too small to really justify a lot of light in the room. But this opening is much bigger. So imagine this just goes directly outside. It's just two steps up and boom, you're outside. You can really get a lot of light in here that would justify a lot of bounce light, that would justify a lot of light in the space. The third option is kind of what you're doing over here, which is indicating another off-camera window or something is pushing light in the scene. I would,
Then would the third option clash with the night scene?
yeah, a little bit because, yes, because like it's not indicated anywhere in the night scene that there's something over here.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really about when you're doing these multiple iterations, it's balancing and utilizing the same light sources, kind of. Like obviously you don't need to turn the candles on here, but I do think, yeah, like so this could like turn this light off. This could just be bright outside here because you're seeing the sky, and then I would play this as, yeah, like sunlight coming in here. And it's not like that isn't exactly what's like going on here because like this feels more like interior light. But I think I'm fine with suspending that a little bit. But it's real like I would say, yeah, and then just find like more reference for like interior cozy reading rooms of rich people or something. I don't know what the search would be, but but because I think that would really give you a feeling, because one of the things, I lived in an old house for a little while, and one of the things that really surprised me when I lived there was how much warmth bounces around the room when there's a bright sunlight that comes in and hits, especially like hardwood. You're like dark kind of rich orangey hardwood like that. It really kind of engulfs the space in this warm light. So I think you can get away with that plus the carpeting.
Okay. And small question about the window. So if I put I tried blowing it out so that it looks like an outdoor light.
Yeah.
But then like the window on the inside gets this weird rim. So should I just do that in Nuke?
So
Should I just blow it up?
So what I would do is anything that's like not the geometry of the room, that's not part of this window frame or these bars, I would turn off in the render so that like everything outside here is just dead alpha, like black alpha, you know? And then you can put just like in the background in Nuke, just put a constant that's like a bright white. And then you can use a light glow or something in Nuke to create that like glowing, blooming effect in that window. So yeah, so I wouldn't do that. Like the actual brightness outside of the window, I would do that in comp. But the light that you have here that's kind of coming in, you kind of need that in order to sell that it's very bright out there. Like it doesn't necessarily like you can be a very like it would be like an area or a portal light that's out there that's shining in, because it's with the key light coming in this way, like that's all skylight, but it's still very, very bright, you know.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't see like quite this amount of directionality, but it would be very bright out there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Okay, cool. All right, let's hop over into Diana's. All right, Diana. So I think the walls look great. I like everything got a little darker and moodier overall with the space, and I think that's really great. I think her lighting is looking really good. The biggest thing I want to work on for the next iteration is really making the crystal look special.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I looked at some reference because I was like, because I didn't know, like I knew that's what I felt, but I didn't know what that visually like looks like. So I started pulling up some reference, and one of the things I found was like, this is not that uncommon of a lighting scenario for something like this in a gallery, is actually to have like little lights around it, like shining up. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but it's like an option that there would actually be light sources around here and like shining up at it. And that could, although that would mess up with her lighting. Never mind. I was gonna say like, and that would actually create like an uplight on her if you wanted, but But what I was looking at with like some of these was just like really reading these shapes and really getting some brightness. And then also while it's sitting on the, like here, like really getting some caustics down there too. And then I do think that it could go, I think it can go like a brighter cone here too. Like you can really kind of punch this up. So, cause it would be like, you really wanna, you really want to feel like a cone of light. That kind of looks like garbage, but like this level of brightness, and then that way you can get like the one difficulty with this particular cut is that this central piece is one like plane, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I had. So one of the things, like it looks like it, depending on the angle, you can kind of start to see how it refracts other things through it, like the back end of it in there. So it's just like it's just about getting a lot of these shapes and reading each one of the faces a lot, and making a few of them super bright and kind of bling bling.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, I just don't know how, but I will try.
So the how really is about putting, like, really try surrounding it with planes that have like a white matte material on it that's turned, that the primary visibility is turned off. And like I would do it as a separate pass. Like I would set up a pass with pretty much everything turned off except for the I don't know what you call it, the gem or the ruby. And then make that like a super reflective material, like a mirror material, and then surround it, and then like kind of place some white cards around it, either off camera or on camera, but just have the primary visibility turned off, so that it can really like as it's moving, because that's when it's really gonna that's really when you're gonna see the impact of it, is when it's moving around and kind of like flickering in the light a little bit. Like that's when it's going to be cool. And by having these like surrounding cards, you can play around with that. The other thing would be making it more dense in the middle here, because if it just feels a little too transparent through the middle of it. Like having that be a little more rich red, I think would be cool. But yeah, I think. But yeah, I mean, but like the core of the whole shot, I think is working really well. I'm interested to see it animated out, because I think her stepping into this light could be really cool. But I think everything else is there. You've done a really good job of expanding the space with these lights back here without, us too focused on it.
Great.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else, Dani, Forrest?
Yeah, I'm really liking it, and I definitely agree with the portal. Like it looks like there's a portal through the ruby right now, just because of that transparency. And then I'm.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I still love to see the diamond or the ruby, even like a bigger reflection in her eyes. When she's repelling.
Yeah, and even that could get like some reflection and maybe some caustics on her, or just something that like really connects them. And then watch out for like these like red and green, the other colors that are jumping in there.
You don't want them?
I don't want them. No, I want them to be more like
red.
Like red. It's just red and pink and magenta and kind of purpley red all the time.
Okay, cool.
And then this is so dumb. Something about this stand, I kept thinking it was an iPhone. I don't know. Maybe it's just a matter of darkening that a little bit, so it's not. Maybe make it not so specky.
Yeah, I actually darkened it already last night.
Yeah.
But we'll see in the render.
Okay, cool. But like I said, the base. I mean, listen, like the specularity on her suit is really cool. Her character lighting is really good. Like I don't really have any notes there. It's just like making the thing feel more special.
And the glass case is okay as is, you guys think?
What else could you do there?
Like lacking, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like it's just like maybe another reflection pass on it, picking up a little bit more. I think that's because it doesn't look glass without any reflections in it. Like it's fine to keep it clear around the object. Let's see something like what makes this look like glass? Like it's like some of these interior reflections and just like little bits of stuff like this.
I think you can add some thickness to it.
Yeah, and like it's like you see
thickness.
It's funny because like if you see like look at this silhouette through this. Like it's kind of crisp here, is blurrier through one pane, but gets like super blurry through two panes. and I'm like it's not like we don't lose the noise pattern on this back wall at all through double pane. So I think that might be part of it too, because it's like it's protective glass. It's probably pretty thick.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be part of it, and then just subtle reflections in it more. Yeah, we'll look at Don't pay attention to the brightness of this, because that was me.
All right, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Forrest. This is so it's funny. Like, this is the first time I've seen her straight on. Usually she's at that angle. I mean it's looking good. I think, and you're like I love what you did with the dot, like really emphasizing the dots and the I don't know what you call that down from her lip down her chin. I don't know what that's called. But I like it. I like that it's like emphasized, because that's a unique characteristic about her. I think your tones on the face are good. I wonder if we can't tighten this speck on the screen left side. I was looking at like some of these, and like I know it's hot and he's wet in this one, but just like getting some of these like tighter highlights in there. It's a little, because it's a little broad and a little soft. Like I want to just feel a couple little bit tighter ones in there.
Like I think on her nose, screen right, it's like really nice.
Yes, like that and like that. Look great. So the rim light I'm not crazy about, just like on her ears here. I want to feel, because like I'm wondering if we couldn't like make, because this is a pretty traditional like character lighting setup. I would maybe do it on her screen left side to get her silhouette to separate from the background a little bit more. And then her eyes, maybe some, eye dingy fun, and just some eye ding goodness in there. And then, what else? Yeah. And then and then like as we're adding some more, like maybe a little bit more in here too, just because I want that to, like, feel her chin really separating from the darkness down there below, a little more.
Cool, we can do that.
Yeah. How's your Unreal class going? Is that what you're working in your gaming class? Is it going all right for you?
Yeah, it's been going great, and like it's like a whole different ball game with like optimizing your lighting for like frame rate versus like waiting for something to render. Yeah,
it's like I have a lot of the Blue Sky people are learning it now, to up their game and for different jobs, and it's like that's all they keep saying is how it's just like a totally different way of approaching it. But it's cool. It sounds exciting.
Yeah, and that's been great. It's been really like a lot of the principles of this have been very easy to apply to Unreal. So
oh, good.
That's been beneficial.
Good. I was hoping that would be true. I didn't know. Like I didn't know the Unreal side of things. Yeah, and I just kind of want to look at this. So are you? So you're. That's what I meant to say. So the bioluminescence on her, is that what you're thinking for these guys?
Yeah, I want to play that up a bit more, and I started experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, right now it was just I made like a custom emission texture for her, and then, but like it only does so much before it starts to look like it's just like floating on her.
Right.
So
I think like because a lot of what I'm seeing here is like variation and like not only within the dots, like so that the center is a little brighter than the edges, but also just like because some of this stuff is just such a cool like this fish squid thing, like just seeing like it's all in the same palette and the same genre, but just like the variation within that is pretty cool. Same thing with this one. Like this is a little more extreme in the color palette, but it's really neat. That's cool stuff.
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions on how I might go about like doing the particularly the squid one? I feel like that's like a emissive and subsurface.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I don't necessarily know how to approach that.
So one of the things that I would do is almost because I would, depending on how you're doing these, it would almost like I almost want to make like a bullseye mat for each one, So or with a centralized ramp that ramps up into the middle, so that I can control that color a little bit and make the center a little bit brighter. But that would also allow me. So with the squiddy one, it's because I'm looking to see if there's like a pattern. So it looks like it's more rich blue down here, and then it like gradiates up into the cyan. I'm wondering if. Sorry, I'm like touching my face and thinking about how I would do that. I'm wondering if there's a ramp you could put on all of it that would allow that to occur in the shader.
Yeah, I think so. Like
Yeah.
a ramp and a noise
Yeah,
makes color on her whole face.
yeah. And then depending on the renderer too, you could pull if you need to emphasize that more in the comp, you can pull a global position, a world position map, and like use the Y data to make it more saturated at the base and less at the top or something. But that would only work in a single shot, which we're doing. So, but yeah, I think a ramp and a little bit of noise in the shader itself on all those would be really cool.
Cool. I'll do some research into that, see what I can do.
Yeah. But overall, like I said, I mean, again, the structure is there. I think like the skin tone on the key side is the right value. You're picking up that detail that we really like in her skin. And then it might just be a matter of getting him a little more bump in there too. Because looking at these highlights are nice, but like having them break up like a little bit with like a little bit of like to feel like pores on the skin and that kind of thing would be cool.
Cool. I can do that.
Yeah. All right, Kat, are you available to talk? Are you riding? You working? She might be working. So we'll talk. Yeah. Oh, wait, good.
I am here.
Okay, good deal.
I'm just going back and forth, but yes, I am here.
Okay, so I saw your comment about the eyes. I think this is a cool reference of like faux eyes. It's kind of funny. I didn't notice that the first time you posted it, but it's totally true. So yeah, so I do think that you if you wanted to go this way and make it like sunglasses and dark and put something in there, but with the green, it's just going to be like I said, a little bit of an uphill battle, and we won't, because it's just like from a contrast level. If let's see, like one of the things, and this is true like of your other shot, like I was talking about with the police officer shot, or the detective, I should say. Oh, weird. Not that one. Not that one. So like one of the things about this, like if you just look at this from like a value study, the eyes just kind of disappear. Like there's a little bit of variation there, but not like we're seeing in a lot of the other areas. So I'm not saying it's not doable. I'm just saying that I wouldn't expect the eyes to read against that. But the one other thing that I did notice about this that I really liked was look how much haze there is at the bottom and how it goes away when we go up, right? There's like steam or fog or something down here, and then it gets darker as we go up. I'm wondering,
Right.
And it really, really helps make her darker values pop forward. And it also, like, you can see how this blue light and the pink light kind of are meshing and morphing with the fog. And I think that's really cool. And I'm wondering if we couldn't do something similar here. Like, more green, magenta, fog down here at the base, and like kind of fade it off as we go up. That would really, because really we only need for the bike, we only really need the fog to happen until like here, until like about halfway through the image, and then and then we can use this behind her. To have her stand off. So I would work on that for the next iteration.
Okay. Maybe put like a little bit of a volumetric in the actual CG.
Yeah.
So I can control it better, and then because the mist is comped in, it's a mist pass.
Yeah.
So I might be able to do like a color ramp, but it's not going to pick up the color. So if I do like a volumetrics in the actual shot, that'll probably mix with the color more, I think.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, actually, do I have it open? So I was doing that. I just posted. Actually, let me just open it. So I just posted. I was goofing around with a shot in Redshift. I was doing some volumetric light, and then I faked some of it in the comp. And I can show you kind of what I did because it's kind of a similar look. So like having this, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I can show you kind of the setup here. So for me, I just like had a blue background, and then for this was like my base lighting. I did some RGB passes of the lights just to be able to isolate them, like so the red, green, or the red, yellow, the stop, yield, and go light, and then each one of these so I can kind of control them. But one of the things that I did, because I was looking, so I had this reference, not that, what is the reference? This is a reference, just like generally I wasn't trying to match it, but like one of the things I was noticing was just how much of the color was like infused in the environment around it. And so I wanted to add that a couple different ways. Like, let me see here. So, so I originally turn this one off. So I originally had it as, let me show you without some of that haze stuff on there. So like this was kind of the original render, and I was like, well, that's not great because I'm not getting the Z depth haze on it. So I pulled some of the Z depth out of this. This was using the world space thing, like I mentioned to you, Forrest, but instead of pulling Y, it's pulling Z. And then I added in a little bit of color just to kind of get that start to, oh wait, I didn't do that. Just to kind of get that to start to fade off so it feels more natural and more in the Z space. And then I really wanted the light to kind of mesh with the fog. So I would just take this and kind of blurt it up and then plus that over the top. Just to kind of get that like extra bit of haze. But like all of that is on top of the lights existing with the volumetric in the render. You know what I mean? So it's like it's adding on top of it. And then when I looked at the original reference, I was like, you know what? There's just like more red, magenta, warm light that's just kind of like it's almost behind it. So I went ahead and just did that. Like I took this, which is just the lights isolated. I made them more warm. I made them bigger, and then I blurred them. I'm doing super fancy stuff. It's super janky, but like just adding that behind it before I add it all over, I thought kind of helped tie it all together a little bit too. So something like you can even do something like that in the comp. So it's just like taking it, blurring it up. As long as you have everything as like separate elements and you have some different mats for things like I had crypto mats on. What did I use crypto mats on? Something here. Yeah, like the road. Okay. Like I took the road and just kind of brightened that and colored that a little bit and did some other stuff. So again, this falls into the category of a comp I never intended on showing anybody, but it's not the cleanest thing I've ever built. But I was just like, I'm gonna goof around with it. Like, what if I did this? What if I did that? And that's how I got there. So I think doing that would be a similar thing. Is like isolating just these lights, dilating them to make them bigger, blurring them, and then adding them into the fog that you have back there would be really helpful. So, all right, cool. Anybody else have anything for Kat before we? Oh, wait.
I will work on that.
Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, this is coming together well, though. Also, if you're going to keep the color on this, it's also the green of the glasses is a different saturation than like anything else in here. I would just pull back the saturation a little bit so it was more like this color, more like her glove color. Just to kind of tie it, just to like tie it all together. All right. So I will let me go ahead and video just to say goodbye to everybody. My wife stepped out, so I'll talk to you guys very soon. And let me know if you have any questions. And if anybody's in the Northeast, I don't think Dani, you're different continents, Southwest and West Coast. I have nice weather. I'm gonna go out and enjoy it. I will talk to you all very soon. All right, be good, guys. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Talk to you later.